Wow, you guys are looking good. Good afternoon, and welcome to Commencement 2011. It's an honor for me to share the stage with our honored guests, especially from our Board of Education, Mr. Todd Gutschau, and our Director of Learning Support Services, Mr. Eric Leahy. I need to take a moment to also thank some folks that have been very integral in today's proceedings, and that's our the woman that actually runs around and doesn't get mad at me when I try to change things last minute and so forth. Give it up for Ms. Terry Rogelstadt, who orchestrated all of this. And it couldn't be done without some tremendous support staff people, like my own Becky Brady, Eileen Chopak, Arlene Alper, Teresa Shelley, Becky Rzuski, Karen Peterson, and of course, Oscar Roca, who put it all together for us today. One of my biggest thrills each day is dropping into classrooms. And whether it's an Algebra 1 classroom or AP Physics where they're firing off ping pong balls off catapults and things like that, I get to see some wonderful magic that happens between our students and our teachers. And it truly is a magical moment when you can see that light bulb go on for every student. Our teachers set extremely high expectations for our young men and women, because that's what our community expects, our parents expect, and our kids demand it from us. Through all of that, this year, the class of 2011 has earned over $5.8 million in scholarships. I hope they remember that 10% of that should come back to RB High at least. Out of that 5.8 million, 1.3 million was in academy, military, naval, Air Force, ROTC scholarships and so forth for leadership. So what you're seeing on the floor of this great arena today are our future's leaders. And that's never been more evident than from the two gentlemen that I'm going to introduce you today, your salutatorian and valedictorians for the class of 2011. These two students coming up on stage today are real representatives of the high expectations of our teachers and also the hard work that it takes to meet those expectations and go beyond. The first student, our salutatorian, with a GPA of 4.5714, will be off to study biomedical engineering at Rice University next year. Please welcome Rushi Patel. Now, our valedictorian, he'll be taking his 4.6047 GPA to Stanford next year, where he will major in an undisclosed field of study. Basically, he hasn't decided yet how he's going to save the world, but he will. Class of 2011, your valedictorian, Mr. Ankit Kumar.
They say time flies when you're having fun. It feels like an eternity since my first day at RBHS, so I suppose the opposite must be true as well. We've done so much in these 4 years. We've memorized dates in our history classes. We've memorized translations in our language classes. Some of us have even memorized facts as part of a competitive club. We took some standardized tests, which proved once and for all that we know how to take standardized tests. We even managed to fit into classrooms overflowing with constantly increasing class sizes. And here we are. 4 years of high school done, a whole life left to go. You know, a lot of people have asked me the question, what are you going to say? But I think a better question is, what do you want to hear? Should I talk about how much fun we can have in college? Or should I talk about political issues? Maybe end my speech with something memorable, like the word legalize. Some of the parents might like it more if I emphasize academics and stress the necessity of hard work in the coming years. The fact is, what you want to hear is much more important than what I want to say. Ask yourself what you would like me to say, and you might get some insight into who you are. If you wanted me to make this speech an opinion piece about the deplorable state of our education system, maybe you should be a lawyer. You clearly like to debate. If you thought I should write a satire, maybe biology isn't the best field for you. English might fit better. If you can identify what it is that drives you, you can begin to figure out what will truly make you happy in life. Because that is what matters, much more than what anyone, including myself, says. In the grand scheme of things, this speech, and really most things you hear from those around you, won't mean much unless it echoes the ideas that are already in your head. I believe the line 2 years ago was we can all be doctors, lawyers, engineers, or astronauts. But not everyone wants to be one of those 4 things, and that's fine. I sincerely hope that as we progress in life, we are all able to figure out and pursue what we are interested in. One thing I don't like about these kind of speeches is that they're always so grossly over-optimistic. People say things like, everyone in this room is going to do so well in everything, and the world is at your fingertips. But that's pretty unrealistic. The truth is, things don't always end up perfectly. Some things happen that just don't make sense. Sometimes it's small, like not being let into the last dance of the year even though it's obvious you're a senior. And sometimes it's big. Setbacks are a part of life, but we all in this room have an advantage over everyone else. By the end of the day, we will all officially be educated. We'll even have an empty folder to prove it. And we have the ability to use this education to confront whatever problems occur in life, and more importantly, to overcome them. Not everyone will, but everyone here at least can. And education isn't only for overcoming obstacles. It'll also be used to capitalize on the opportunities we get in life. People get lucky all the time. I certainly hope that, for all of us, more good things happen than bad. But it really doesn't matter. Because as long as we take advantage of the good and rise above the bad, whatever misfortunes we face will pale in comparison to the opportunities we are given. The last thing I want to say is that, unfortunately, you won't see most of the people in this room again. So take your chances now. It's been fun, guys, and congratulations.